ActBlue has long been celebrated within Democratic circles as a powerhouse fundraising platform. Established to help Democratic candidates and progressive causes collect donations from grassroots supporters, it quickly evolved into one of the most influential money machines in modern American politics. While it has garnered accolades for its ability to raise extraordinary sums, recent investigations suggest ActBlue's operations may have facilitated more than simple small-dollar campaign contributions. Allegations now include facilitating foreign money, enabling identity theft, and funding protest movements that vandalize Tesla facilities, all of which have attracted scrutiny from Congress, state attorneys general, and federal law enforcement. In early 2025, billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk brought forward evidence suggesting that several activist groups responsible for coordinated anti-Tesla vandalism were funded by ActBlue. These groups had been organizing protests that disrupted Tesla operations, allegedly damaging Tesla properties and threatening employees. Investigative reports linked 5 of these organizations, including Rise and Resist and the Democratic Socialists of America, to ActBlue's fundraising infrastructure. In Musk's assessment, liberal megadonors had harnessed ActBlue's platform to funnel money toward anti-Tesla campaigns, effectively waging war on the country's premier electric vehicle company. Yet, the alleged anti-Tesla campaign is just one component of a broader and more complex picture. For years, Republican leaders and conservative watchdogs have questioned ActBlue's methods for processing contributions, pointing out that the platform's high volume of small-dollar donations has historically been subject to minimal identity verification. Until mid-2024, ActBlue reportedly did not require donors to enter CVV codes, those 3-digit numbers on the back of credit cards, or provide thorough address verification. Moreover, untraceable prepaid gift cards were accepted as legitimate forms of payment. Critics argue that these oversights created a perfect environment for fraud, money laundering, and potential foreign interference. The House Administration Committee, led by Chairman Brian Steele, flagged these practices as a glaring security hole that undermined election integrity. With such lax verification standards, it became possible, they argue, for hostile foreign governments or other bad actors to disguise their true identities while funneling contributions to political campaigns. ActBlue finally changed its policy in August 2024 under intense pressure, implementing basic credit card verification. However, by that time, it had already processed billions of dollars, and investigators believe a portion of those funds may have originated from questionable sources. As scrutiny intensified, Republican-led probes uncovered numerous suspicious patterns in ActBlue's donation records. Researchers found examples of single individuals making hundreds of small contributions, many under $3, in a short time frame. In one particularly revealing case, a Republican strategist discovered his identity had been used fraudulently to make 385 donations, totaling nearly $900, without his knowledge. Other reported incidents involved individuals of modest financial means, supposedly donating tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. These anomalies led some investigators to suspect that certain donors were not real or were being used as straw entities to circumvent contribution limits and conceal large sums of money. By late 2024, House Oversight Chairman James Comer requested that the Treasury Department provide suspicious activity reports associated with ActBlue transactions. The department's initial findings, disclosed in October 2024, revealed hundreds of flagged transactions that banks had identified as potential indicators of money laundering or identity theft. Several of these transactions involved credit cards tied to unclear billing information or repeated low-dollar charges in rapid succession, further solidifying the notion that ActBlue's platform was being exploited for fraudulent purposes. The mounting evidence spurred multiple state attorneys general to launch their own investigations. As of mid-2024, at least 19 states, led by Republican attorneys general, were conducting inquiries into ActBlue's fundraising operations. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton uncovered patterns of donations using false identities and untraceable cards, prompting him to issue a criminal referral to the Department of Justice. Virginia's Attorney General Jason Miyares demanded an explanation for what he called implausible small-dollar donations occurring in large quantities over an extended period. Similar probes were initiated in Wyoming, Missouri, and other states, painting a nationwide picture of growing alarm about ActBlue's processes. Beyond the anti-Tesla campaign and potential election fraud, critics note that ActBlue has served as a financial pipeline for radical activism in the past. During the 2020 unrest, for instance, it handled donations for bail funds and protest-related nonprofits that critics say exacerbated violence in major cities. June 2020 proved to be ActBlue's highest-grossing month to that date, raking in a record $392 million. Investigative reports from that time uncovered instances in which murder suspects and other individuals charged with violent offenses were bailed out by nonprofits that relied on ActBlue for fundraising. In a few cases, those freed went on to commit additional crimes. The pattern of enabling disruptive protest movements, whether intentionally or not, has led opponents to question ActBlue's vetting of the organizations that use its platform. By early 2025, Congressman Darrell Issa extended these concerns into the realm of national security. He urged the Treasury Department to investigate whether ActBlue had processed donations tied to extremist or terrorist-linked entities. One of the most controversial issues involved ActBlue's charitable arm, which had supposedly helped direct funds to organizations suspected of having ties to the BDS movement, or groups described as anti-Israel. Congressman Issa contended that because ActBlue lacked reliable vetting, it may have facilitated the transfer of money to extremist causes, thereby risking a violation of U.S. anti-terrorism financing laws. These allegations are yet to be conclusively proven, but highlight the breadth of concern surrounding the platform. President Trump's return to the White House in 2025 ushered in new leadership at the FBI and Treasury, which led to deeper federal inquiries into ActBlue. Congressman Andy Biggs urged the newly appointed FBI director, Kash Patel, to open a formal investigation, citing repeated warnings about fraudulent transactions and possible foreign interference. Under previous administrations, critics claim investigations into ActBlue's dealings had been slow or limited in scope. Now, however, with a Congress and executive branch more open to scrutinizing the platform, there is a renewed push for transparency and potential criminal prosecution should wrongdoing be confirmed. These investigations have created evident turmoil within ActBlue itself. In early 2025, a report from the New York Times indicated that several high-ranking officials had departed or been forced out, including the general counsel and other long-serving executives. Such senior-level resignations, especially in a short span, raised questions about internal awareness of potential misconduct and the growing pressure of external probes. While ActBlue has not yet faced formal charges, the evidence gathered by congressional committees, state attorneys general, and the Treasury Department cast doubt on the integrity of its fundraising model. Republican lawmakers see ActBlue as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unverified online contributions, advocating for stricter FEC regulations that would require every fundraising platform, Democratic or Republican, to collect and verify donor information. These measures, they argue, are necessary to uphold election integrity and prevent foreign or fraudulent money from influencing American politics. Supporters of ActBlue claim that the volume and small size of its average donations demonstrate genuine grassroots support, and they often frame the investigations as political attacks intended to undermine Democratic fundraising capabilities. Yet, the persistent claims of identity theft, money laundering, and foreign influence cannot be dismissed solely as partisanship. They have prompted serious probes at multiple levels of government. The full truth will likely emerge only as federal, state, and potentially international investigations proceed. If ActBlue is found to have enabled illegal activity, it would mark one of the most significant campaign finance scandals in modern U.S. history and would undoubtedly reshape policies surrounding political fundraising. The newly proposed federal regulations aim to close loopholes, requiring robust identity verification for every donation, no matter how small. For now, ActBlue stands at a crossroads. The platform once hailed for revolutionizing small-dollar donations faces calls for unprecedented scrutiny and reform. Critics argue the stakes go beyond any single campaign or issue, raising fundamental questions about election integrity and national security. Determining whether ActBlue knowingly facilitated wrongdoing, or whether its systems were simply exploited, may take months or years of exhaustive research and legal battles. Regardless of the outcome, the ongoing controversy has already sparked a wider push for transparency, reinforcing the principle that the legitimacy of American elections depends on where the money truly comes from and how carefully it is tracked.